Title: The Things Night Guards Witness While Everyone Else is Asleep. The security guard checked the camera feed at 3:47 a.m. Monitor 12 showed the basement corridor. Empty. He blinked. Looked again. A figure stood at the far end. Perfectly still. Facing the camera. He hadn't been there 3 seconds ago. The guard reached for his radio. Looked back at the screen. The figure was gone. He checked the timestamp. No gap. No glitch. Just 3 seconds of footage. Empty. Then occupied. Then empty again. He'd been working night security for 11 years. He knew what belonged in that building. And what didn't. That figure wasn't supposed to be there. The basement had been locked since 9 p.m. No one had a key except management. And management was home. So, like everyone else in the city. Except him. And whoever that was. Night guards see things. Things that don't make it into reports. Things that can't be explained. Things that happen when the world is asleep and the only witnesses are the people paid to watch. These are 6 real accounts. 6 different guards. 6 different locations. All verified. All documented. All unsettling. This is what they witnessed. While everyone else was asleep. Story 1. The hospital basement. Michael worked security at a hospital in Leeds, England. Built in 1897. Expanded 6 times. The basement wasn't on any public map. Just staff. Maintenance. Storage. His shift was midnight to 8. Same route every hour. Ground floor. First floor. Second floor. Then down to the basement. 42 minutes total. Then back to the security office. Check the cameras. Fill out the log. Start again. He'd done this route 473 times. He knew every sound. Every shadow. Every door that stuck. Every light that flickered. On September 14, 2019, something changed. Michael reached the basement at 2:14 a.m. Everything normal. He walked past the morgue. Past the storage rooms. Past the maintenance office. He turned the corner toward the old wing. That's when he heard it. Footsteps. Behind him. He stopped. The footsteps stopped. He turned around. No one there. Just the corridor. Just the lights. Just silence. He kept walking. The footsteps started again. Same rhythm. Same distance behind him. He stopped. They stopped. Turned. Nothing. Michael wasn't easily scared. Ex-military. 16 years in the army. He'd worked in conflict zones. Seen worse than empty corridors. But something about those footsteps made his skin crawl. He radioed the control room. Anyone else on basement level? Negative. You're alone down there. He continued his route. The footsteps continued behind him. He walked faster. They matched his pace. He stopped at the end of the corridor. The footsteps stopped. He waited. 10 seconds. 20. 30. Then he heard breathing. Close. Right behind his left shoulder. He spun around. No one there. Michael left the basement. Faster than usual. Didn't run. But didn't walk slowly either. He got back to the security office. Checked the cameras. Rewound the footage of the basement. Watched himself walk the corridor. Alone. No one behind him. No one beside him. Just him. But on the audio feed, clear as anything, footsteps. 2 sets. And someone else's. He filed a report. Supervisor dismissed it. Old building. Echoes. Pipes expanding. Water dripping. Imagination. Michael didn't argue. But he knew what he heard. And he knew it wasn't pipes. 3 nights later, it happened again. Same corridor. Same time. Same footsteps. This time, Michael didn't stop. He kept walking. Let the footsteps follow. He reached the end of the basement. Turned. Started back. The footsteps stayed behind him the entire way. When he got to the stairs, they stopped. He climbed up, turned around at the top, looked back down into the basement. For just a second, he saw something. A shadow, human-shaped, standing at the bottom of the stairs, watching him. He blinked. It was gone. Michael requested a transfer. Got moved to day shift. Never worked nights in that hospital again. When asked why, he just said it wasn't a good fit. Didn't elaborate. Didn't need to. The hospital is still operational. The basement is still used. And guards still hear footsteps. They don't report it anymore. They just walk a little faster. And they don't look back. Story 2, The Office Tower. Jennifer worked security at a 42-story office building in Toronto, Canada. Glass and steel. Built in 2003. Corporate headquarters. Law firms. Accounting agencies. Empty after 7 p.m. Her job was simple. Monitor the cameras. Check the floors. Make sure the doors were locked. Respond to alarms. Most nights, nothing happened. She'd read. Watch videos. Count the hours until 6 a.m. when the cleaning crew arrived. But on November 2nd, 2021, the elevator started moving on its own. Jennifer noticed it at 1:33 a.m. Elevator 3 showed movement on her monitor. Going up. She checked the access log. No one had badged in. She radioed the other guard on duty. He was on the 10th floor. Hadn't called the elevator. She watched the monitor. The elevator went to the 27th floor. Stopped. Doors opened. Empty corridor. No one got on. No one got off. Doors closed. Elevator went back down. Stopped at 15. Doors opened. Empty again. Went to 34. This continued for 11 minutes. Jennifer called maintenance. No malfunctions reported. No electrical issues. Elevators had been serviced 2 weeks prior. Everything functioning normally. She told them what was happening. They said they'd send someone in the morning. The elevator stopped moving at 1:44 a.m. Came to rest on the ground floor. Doors opened. Stayed open. Jennifer walked over. Looked inside. Empty. Nothing unusual. She pressed the button to close the doors. They closed. She went back to her desk. Sat down. Looked at the monitor. The elevator was moving again. This time it went to the 39th floor. Stopped. Doors opened. And this time, Jennifer saw something on the camera. A shadow. Just for a second. Moving across the corridor. Too fast to be a person walking. Too deliberate to be nothing. She called the other guard. Told him to go to 39. Check it out. He took the stairs. Didn't want to use the elevator. Took him 6 minutes to climb. When he got there, the corridor was empty. Doors locked. Lights off. No one there. The elevator had already moved. Now at 22. The elevator finally stopped at 3:02 a.m. Ground floor again. Doors opened. Jennifer walked over. This time, she got inside. Pressed the close door button. Nothing happened. She pressed it again. Doors stayed open. She stepped out. The doors immediately closed. The elevator shot up to the 42nd floor. Top floor. Executive suites. No one up there after hours. Ever. It stayed there for the rest of the night. Doors closed. Didn't move again. In the morning, maintenance checked it. Found nothing wrong. No electrical faults. No mechanical issues. They tested it. Worked perfectly. Start. All normal. Jennifer filed a report. It was noted, but nothing came of it. The elevator still does it. Not every night, but enough that the guards know. When elevator 3 starts moving on its own, they don't investigate anymore. They just watch. Let it go where it wants. And when it finally stops, they stay away from it. Because sometimes on the camera feed, when the doors open, there's a shadow. Just for a second. Standing in the back of the car. Watching. And no one wants to be there when it decides to step out. Story 3. The Museum. David worked overnight security at a history museum in Edinburgh, Scotland. Victorian building. 3 floors. Exhibitions on Scottish history, archaeology, natural sciences. Lots of artifacts. Lots of glass cases. Lots of silence. His shift started at 10 p.m. Building cleared by 10:30. He'd lock the doors. Set the alarms. Do his rounds. Most nights, nothing happened. He'd walk the halls. Check the exhibits. Make sure everything was secure. But in June 2018, something started moving. David was on his second round. Ground floor. Medieval Scotland exhibition. He walked past the display cases. Armor. Weapons. Clothing. All behind glass. All locked. He heard a sound. Like metal on metal. He stopped. Turned. Looked at the case he just passed. Everything looked normal. He kept walking. Another click. Behind him. He turned again. Still nothing. He walked to the case. Pressed his face close to the glass. Everything inside was exactly as it should be. He turned to leave. That's when he saw it. In the reflection of the glass. Behind him. One of the swords in the case had moved. Just slightly. Tilted to the left. He turned around fast. Looked directly at the case. The sword was upright. Exactly as it should be. David left the exhibition. Went to the next floor. Natural history. Fossils. Taxidermy. He walked past the display of Highland wildlife. Stag. Badger. All preserved. All positioned in lifelike poses. He heard something upstairs. On the 3rd floor. Footsteps. Slow. Deliberate. Crossing the wooden floorboards. He radioed control. Anyone else in the building? Negative. Just you. He went upstairs. 3rd floor. Scottish culture. Clothes. Tools. Furniture. He walked down the main corridor. The footsteps had stopped. Everything was quiet. Then he heard a door close. One of the side rooms. He walked to it. The door was shut. He tried the handle. But he pulled out his keys. Unlocked it. Opened it. The room was dark. He flicked on the light. Empty. David searched the room. Nothing. No one. He turned off the light. Closed the door. Locked it. Stood in the corridor. Listened. Footsteps. Fin. This time behind him. On the floor he just left. 2nd floor. He went back down. Walked through the natural history section. Everything quiet. Everything still. He reached the staircase. Started down to the ground floor. Halfway down, he looked up. At the top of the stairs, standing in the shadows, was a figure. Completely motionless. Watching him, David froze. Reached for his flashlight. Turned it on. Pointed it up the stairs. The beam hit the top step. Nothing there. Just empty space. He went back up. Slowly. Checked every corner. Every room. Nothing. No one. He was alone. But he didn't feel alone. He finished his shift. Wrote in the log. Unexplained sounds. 3rd and 2nd floors. Nothing found. Didn't mention the figure. Didn't mention the reflection. No point. Who would believe it? Other guards have seen things in that museum. Shadows that move. Doors that open. Footsteps that don't belong. Management knows. But they don't talk about it. Can't afford to. Tourism funds the museum. Can't have stories spreading. Can't have guards refusing to work nights. So they hire. Guards stay for a few months. Then leave. New guards come. See the same things. Cycle continues. David lasted 8 months. Quit in February 2019. Got a job at a shopping center. Nothing happens there at night. Just silence. Just empty shops. Just normal. Exactly what he wanted. Story 4. The Parking Garage. Marcus worked security at an underground parking garage in Los Angeles, California. 5 levels below ground. Capacity for 800 vehicles. Accessible 24 hours. But mostly empty after midnight. His job was to monitor the cameras, patrol the levels, and respond to any issues. Cars getting broken into. People locked out. Medical emergencies. Standard stuff. In March 2020, right before the pandemic lockdowns, the garage became almost completely empty. Businesses closed. People stayed home. Some nights, there were only 5 or 6 cars parked across all 5 levels. That's when Marcus started noticing the car that shouldn't be there. The first time he saw it was at 2:15 a.m. He was reviewing camera footage from level 4. 3 cars parked. All accounted for. He looked away. Checked level 3. Looked back at level 4. Now there were 4 cars. He rewound the footage. Watched it in real time. 2 hours 14 minutes and 32 seconds, 3 cars. 2 hours 14 minutes and 33 seconds, 3 cars. 2 hours 14 minutes and 34 seconds, 4 cars. No car drove in. No lights. No engine sounds picked up on audio. It just appeared. A dark sedan. Parked in the far corner. Away from the other vehicles. Marcus grabbed his flashlight. Took the elevator down to level 4. Walked toward the car. It was real. Solid. Not a glitch. He circled it. Checked the plates. Current registration. Checked the windows. Tinted. Couldn't see inside. He tried the doors. But he knocked on the window. No response. He radioed it in. Supervisor said to leave it. Probably someone who came in before the cameras reset. Marcus knew that wasn't true. He'd watched the footage. But he didn't argue. He went back to his booth. Checked the monitor. The car was still there. He made a note. Unknown vehicle. Level 4. Space 47B. 3 hours later, at 5:03 a.m., he checked the camera again. The car was gone. He reviewed the footage. No one entered. No one left. The car just disappeared between frames. There 1 second. Gone the next. The car appeared 6 more times over the next 2 weeks. Always level 4. Always space 47B. Always between 2 and 3 a.m. Always gone by 5 a.m. Marcus stopped investigating. Just noted it in his log. Unknown vehicle. Same location. Other guards saw it too. They compared notes. Same car. Same space. Same time. No one could explain it. Then the lockdowns hit. The garage closed to non-essential vehicles. Marcus was laid off. When the garage reopened months later, new security was hired. They saw the car too. But they didn't report it. Didn't want to seem crazy. The car still appears. Not every night. But enough. Guards on night shift know. When you see a dark sedan on level 4, space 47B, between 2 and 3 a.m., you leave it alone. Don't approach. Don't knock. Don't run the plates. Because one guard did. Ran the plates. Car came back registered to a woman. Deceased. 2019. Died in a car accident. In that garage. On level 4. Her car had been towed months before. Sold at auction. Shouldn't exist anymore. But it does. At least, something that looks like it does. And it parks in the exact spot where she died. Story 5. The University Library. Emma worked night security at a university library in Manchester, England. 8 floors. Over 2 million books. Open 24 hours during exam periods. But after midnight, mostly empty. Her job was to patrol the floors. Make sure students weren't sleeping in study rooms. Check fire exits. Respond to alarms. Most nights, quiet. Students would study until 2 or 3 a.m. Then leave. By 4 a.m., Emma was usually alone. In November 2017, she started hearing the typing. It started on the 5th floor. The typing, steady, rhythmic, like someone working on an essay. Emma walked toward the sound, turned the corner. The computers were all off. No one at the desks. But the typing continued. She followed it. Down the row. Past the study carrels. Into the back section. It got louder. Faster. Then stopped. Complete silence. Emma stood still. Listened. Nothing. She turned to leave. The typing started again. Right behind her. She spun around. No one there. Just empty desks. Dark monitors. Silence. Emma left the 5th floor. Went to the 6th. Checked the study rooms. All empty. She sat down at the security desk on the ground floor. Filled out her report. Possible electrical issue. 5th floor. Audio disturbance. Maintenance checked it the next day. Found nothing. No electrical problems. No malfunctioning equipment. Everything working as it should. But Emma heard it again. And again. Same floor. Same time. Always around 3:30 a.m. Always typing. Always stopping when she got close. Always starting when she walked away. Other guards heard it too. Day staff didn't. Only night staff. Only after midnight. Only on the 5th floor. One guard decided to record it. Set up his phone. Left it on the 5th floor. Came back an hour later. Played the recording. 17 minutes of silence. Then typing. Unmistakable. Then silence again. He checked the computer stations. Still off. He checked the timestamp of the recording. 3:33 a.m. Same time Emma always heard it. He played the recording for the head of security. They listened. Heard the typing. No explanation given. Just a note in the file. Anomalous audio. Origin unknown. Emma transferred to a different building after 6 months. Couldn't handle it anymore. Not scared. Just unnerved. The library got a new guard. He heard it too. Reported it. Same response. Noted. The typing still happens. Students working late sometimes hear it. They assume it's another student. In another section. They don't investigate. Don't think about it. Just keep studying. But the guards know. 5th floor. 3:30 a.m. Someone is typing. Someone who isn't there. And no one knows who. Or what. Or what they're writing. All they know is that it never stops. Not for long. Story 6. The Warehouse. Thomas worked security at a distribution warehouse in Birmingham, England. Massive space. 40,000 square meters. Shelves 20 meters high. Forklifts. Conveyor belts. Pallets of goods waiting to be shipped. Day shift was chaos. Hundreds of workers. Trucks coming and going. Noise. Movement. Constant activity. Night shift was the opposite. Empty. Silent. Just Thomas and the building. His shift was 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. He'd lock the gates. Set the alarms. Do his rounds. Most nights, nothing. Just the hum of refrigeration units. The occasional creak of metal. Normal warehouse sounds. Until January 2022. That's when the forklift started moving. Thomas was on his first round. Walking the east wing. He heard an engine. Diesel. Forklift. He stopped. Turned around. No forklifts should be running. They were all parked. Keys locked in the office. He walked toward the sound. It was coming from the loading bay. He turned the corner. Forklift number 7 was moving. Driving down the main aisle. No driver. No one on it. Just moving on its own. Thomas ran after it, shouted, "Stop! Turn it off!" The forklift didn't stop. It kept going. Steady speed. Straight line. It reached the end of the aisle. Turned left. Perfectly executed turn. Continued down the next aisle. Thomas radioed for help. No one answered. He was alone. He kept following the forklift. It drove to the back of the warehouse. Stopped. Engine still running. Forks lowered, like it was about to pick up a pallet. Thomas approached carefully. Looked at the seat. Empty. Checked the controls. Gear in neutral. Parking brake on. But the engine was running, and it had just driven across the warehouse. Impossible. He climbed onto the forklift. Turned the key. Engine cut off. Silence. He got down. Sat back. Stared at it. The forklift stayed still. Didn't move again. Thomas walked back to his office. Checked the CCTV. Rewound it. The footage showed the forklift parked. Then, at 11:47 p.m., it started moving. No one near it. No one on it. Just started. Drove. Stopped. Exactly as he'd seen. Thomas reported it. Supervisor came in. Watched the footage. Couldn't explain it. Called maintenance. They inspected the forklift. Everything normal. No mechanical issues. No electrical faults. Someone suggested a prank. But the keys had been locked up. No one else had access. It happened again. 3 nights later. Same forklift. Same time. Same route. This time, Thomas just watched. Didn't chase it. Let it drive. It went to the same spot. Stopped. Engine cut off on its own. He checked the logs. Forklift number 7 had been involved in an accident. 2019, worker crushed. Died instantly. The forklift had been repaired. Returned to service. No issues since. Until now. Thomas requested a transfer. Got moved to day shift. Didn't want to work nights anymore. Didn't want to watch that forklift. Didn't want to wonder what it was doing. Or who was driving it. New guard took over nights. Saw the same thing. Didn't report it. Just let it happen. Because what's the point? No one believes it. And even if they do, what can they do? Decommission a forklift because it drives itself? Remove it because a dead worker might still be using it? The warehouse still operates. Forklift number 7 still works. Day shift uses it. No problems. But at night, around 11:47 p.m., it starts moving. Always the same route. Always the same destination. And the night guards have learned. When it starts, you let it go. You don't follow. You don't interfere. You just watch it on the cameras. And when it stops, you stay away. Because some things don't need an explanation. They just need to be left alone. These are the things night guards witness. While everyone else is asleep. While the world is quiet. While the buildings are empty. They see movement in the stillness. They hear sounds in the silence. They watch things that shouldn't happen. And most of the time, they don't report it. Because who would believe them? But they know. Every guard who works nights knows. The world doesn't stop when people go home. It just changes. And some things only come out when no one's watching. Except the guards. They're always watching. And they see everything. Even the things they wish they hadn't. If you made it this far, you're braver than most night guards. Or maybe you're one of them. Maybe you've seen things too. Things you can't explain. Things that happen when everyone else is asleep. If this video gave you chills, smash that like button like you're slamming a door on something following you down a dark corridor. If you want more true horror stories that will make you never want to work night shift again, subscribe and ring that notification bell so hard it wakes up whatever's sleeping in your building. And drop a comment below telling us, have you ever worked night security? What's the creepiest thing you've witnessed when everyone else was asleep? We want to hear your story. Maybe it'll be featured in our next video. Share this with your friends who think working nights is easy money. Let's see if they still feel that way after watching this. Until next time, stay safe out there. Lock your doors. Check your cameras. And remember, just because you can't see them doesn't mean they're not watching you.